Hi everyone, this is Sean Law from Sydney, Lorcana. Hope you're all having a good day. It's been a while since I've uploaded a video and thought since it's Christmas Eve, it might be good to go over a more casual deck. So here is the deck I took to the Singapore DLC side event, which was a Zootopia themed side event. You'll notice that some of the numbers in this deck are a bit wonky, and that is mostly because I just used all the cards I had on hand to build the deck. A couple of things to note with this side event was that only Zootopia cards from current sets were allowed, and the deck had to follow the standard deck construction of 2 colors max. I identified pretty quickly that the best combination of characters for this deck was blue steel, so I set about going through my cards to see what I had. Once I gathered all the cards I had, I tried working out what other cards I needed to fill out the deck. And one thing you'll notice quickly is that there is no spot removal or ways to deal with readied characters, which is very different from standard constructed decks. And so the focus I had when building this deck was raw stats, questing power, and also detective synergies. I identified the key cards in this deck as the 2 detective shift lines of 5 cost shift 3 Nick Wilde and 6 cost shift 4 Judy Hopps. The Nick is strong as it can give you a favorable trade early on with its 5/4 stat line, and can help you draw more cards as it lets your detectives, after they've banished a character, draw you a card. The Judy, on the other hand, giving your detectives alert and more importantly resist 2, allows your detectives to survive attacks they would not normally be able to, such as attacking a male wind dancer. My main quester in the deck was Mr. Biggs, that I ran a full playset of, and that was primarily because he quests for 3, and he's also very difficult to deal with since he can't be challenged by characters that have more than 1 strength, which you can see even from this deck list. There isn't that many characters that can actually challenge him. And then my other card advantage card was the 4-drop Judy Hopps, where the main thing they do is when they come in and when they quest, you can look at the top 3 cards and reveal a detective and add it to your hand. And with a lot of the Zootopia cards being detectives, more often than not, you'll hit up a detective in the top 3 cards, and you can then either deploy that detective on later turns or use it for ink. The other thing I tried to do was keep my curve low, so even though I had a high number of uninkables, which in this case was 15 cards, I generally tried to stay around 4 to 5 ink, unless I had a 4-cost Judy Hopps in play or the shift 3 Nick Wilde in play, and I was drawing a bunch of cards, or if I was trying to set up a double spell by playing a 3-drop and a 2-drop, or 2 3-drops. The last powerful card in this deck is the Zootopia location, because that enables you to filter cards once per turn when you move a character there, and also it has 4 willpower, which can often let you gain 1 to 2 lore before your opponent can deal with it, particularly if you play it on either turn 1 or turn 2. The last thing I'll mention is that you'll notice that a lot of the characters here can quest for 2, which is important as it allowed me to snowball ahead faster when I had an advantageous board state, and also put pressure on when I was behind. My primary game plan was to stick an early Nick, either any of the 1-drops, on turn 1 or turn 2, and then on turn 3 I would try to shift the 5-cost Floodborn Nick Wild, and then either get a positive trade and draw a card, or take out their Zootopia location. And then the turn after, I would try to apply pressure with a Mr. Big and force them to either challenge him and then get banished by my Nick Wild on my turn and giving me a card, or if they didn't want to challenge it, it would just quest for 3 every turn, which closes things out very quickly. The game format was similar to all the events that day, which was best of 1. This helped me a lot since I won every dice roll that day for that event. All in all, I had a blast, and it was a nice break from doing Infinity and Core Constructed. My only critique would have been given the lack of Zootopia cards, it would have given more variance in deck design if they had simply allowed you to not be restricted by 2 colors, as everyone I played got to the same conclusion that I did, which was that blue steel was the best pairing and gives you the most amount of card options. I just wanted to give a shout out to the Sydney community, as well as anyone who helped me get cards for the event, especially Enchanted Mike, who helped me procure a lot of the cards from set 10. I hope Disney does more events like this in the future at other DLCs, and I hope everyone enjoys the holidays. Thank you.
One last thing to add was, since I rushed to this event after just finishing the Infinity side event, and also because the cards weren't that valuable, I ended up playing this event entirely unsleeved, which is something I haven't done since I was a kid, so it was a nice blast from the past.
If you like this content, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.